Welcome to all for this second day session. First of all, I offer my humble tribute to Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh and Matoshree Vimalabai Deshmukh. On the behalf of the organizing committee and Honorable Principal Dr. Smita Deshmukh, I extend my warmest welcome to you all along with the participant who joined this workshop. Today is the second day of online national workshop on research methodology sponsored by Indian Council of Social Science Research ICSSR, Western Regional Center, Mumbai. Today, we have with us Principal respected Dr. Smita Deshmukh as a chairperson and Dr. Subba Rao from Hyderabad as a resource person. First, I introduce today's chairperson, Dr. Smita Deshmukh. Principal Dr. Smita Deshmukh has got over 25 years administrative experience. She also working as peer team member at National Assessment and Accreditation Council, Bangalore. She has Senate member at Santa Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. She is also a member of State Level Advisory Committee, Yashwantrao Chauhan, Maharashtra Open University, Nasik. She has presented several research papers in the international and national conferences and have been the resource person for webinars, refreshers, orientation, etc. She is also a motivational speaker. She also played the lead role of Rajmata Jizau in film. She actively involved in various social activities. She received many awards from various institutes. Now, I would like to introduce the today's speaker, respected Dr. Subba Rao. It's my privilege to get opportunity to introduce the dynamic personality, Dr. Subba Rao, on the behalf of organizing committee of our institute. Dr. Subba Rao, sir, is a senior manager in Employee Employment Center, National Thermal Power Corporation, Daripoli, Odisha. He has got over 15 years of experience in power plant operations. Before joining National Thermal Power Corporation, he was in Mazgaon Dock Limited, Mumbai, and National Hydroelectric Power Corporation also. His diversified qualifications include BTech in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, MBA in Operation Management, MSc in Psychology, PG Diploma in Environment and Sustainable Development. He has done his PhD from Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology, Bhopal. Dr. Rao has the professional certification such as Intergovernmental Committee in Occupational Health and Safety by NIBOSH, UK, Howard Managed Mentor from Howard Business School. He was qualified in Andhra Set 2013. He also holds a certificate of proficiency in Boiler Operating Engineer, Project Management, IPMA Level D. He has presented several research papers in the international and national conferences and have been the resource person for webinars and faculty development programs. He has a blog and YouTube channels through which he shares his ideas. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Subba Rao sir on this virtual platform for delivered the speech. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, I should thank the management of Matoshree, Vimalabai, Deshmukh, Mahavidyalaya and Shivaji Society for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to speak on ideation in research. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, ma'am. So let us start with a basic idea of the moment I chose this topic. I came with an idea of presenting this without a PPT. So suppose what happens when we don't use PPT and what happens when we use PPT. If we compare these two, and depending on the audience, suppose if we are teaching students, or if you are teaching faculty members or the researcher, what happens if we observe the differences, that becomes a research paper. That is how an idea is connected to research. So that is how we build small ideas into research papers. But a single idea, a small idea cannot directly become a research paper. It needs an extensive work. That is our literature review. We should justify that this study is needed, why this study is required, and how we are going to do. All those things are dealt in research methodology, right? So we have to start with an idea of your own, and then just see what is there in the research arena, and whether it is already done. Already this idea might have come to so many people much earlier, when the IT industry would have started. That time only people would have done already a research on all these things, right? So then I should slightly modify my idea according to the present need. This is one type of ideation for research. The other part is problem solving. The ideas come for solving the problems. There can be n number of ideas to solve a particular problem. So ultimately, our research should solve the current problems, right, of the society or the industry or the academia or whatever fields you take. So our basic research should solve ideally a problem. So how to identify a problem? Again, for that, we need ideas. So every step of research methodology should come from your mind, your ideas. But unfortunately, I have seen so many researchers coming to their guides and saying, please tell me a research topic. I want to do research. Or please tell me a topic for a research paper. Ideally, how these topics emerge, that is my area today. I want to discuss on that. So basically, research is very simple if you have observation qualities. Please observe what is happening in and around. Please observe everything very critically, and you will find n number of research topics on day-to-day basis, right? So even if you see, there are interactive videos nowadays. If someone is speaking for 5 minutes, they will cross check whether people are understanding or not. So that is how that also can be taken as a research topic, right? We will be studying, if I apply an interactive video, how the effectiveness is. So everything, every small observation. Suppose if people are so tense to write examinations, and people are so tense to conduct a blood test, that is also a test. This is also a test, and all the tests are for our well-being, right? So that is how I have written a blog connecting these two aspects which are related to tests. So tests are for our best. Test is for our best. That is how I have correlated. But that idea cannot become a research paper. So I have chosen it for a blog. So suppose, so I'm just trying to make you clear that ideas are of different levels. A small idea can become a blog. Another level of idea can become a YouTube video, or another level may go for a a conference paper. The next level idea may go for a journal publication, right? So how to decide on this? That is the issue. Suppose I have one more small idea, which I normally use to demonstrate people about ideas. So let us see bird's eye view. Bird's eye view. It is normally we hear in management and leadership qualities. So we should have bird's eye view, that is eagle's view. Then we will have a holistic understanding. Holistic view, eagle's view, bird's eye view, all these are one and the same. That is top management's perspective. That is what normally we teach in management. So bird's eye view. I have connected that to Arjuna's story. Arjun was aiming at the bird eye, right? We normally teach that for concentration, right? That bird's eye is pinpointed concentration is required. Just like Arjuna, he was looking at the bird's eye only. Remaining people were viewing all the trees, forest, and some people have looked at bird. So we all know about that story. So there the bird's eye is about concentration. Here the bird's eye is having the overall perspective. So I have connected these two concepts and came with a comparison, saying that our mind should be like a lens of a camera, which can be zoomed to see a particular thing and can be unzoomed to see the overall perspective. So if we zoom it, then we can pinpointedly identify something and we can do research on that. If we unzoom it, we will be seeing the overall perspective. So that is how I have clubbed these two aspects. But this idea, where I will use, that is my point. I cannot use in the research paper. I can use it in the demonstration. So for explaining people and combining two concepts together, I have come out with a new idea and I have added something else to it. So that is how we should make our ideas into creativity and innovation. Idea is the first step, and what else we can do with that, that I have explained here. And we will go back to the Arjuna story again. So we normally teach people to concentrate. Like Arjuna, see the bird's eye. I have added one more thing to that story again. If something comes from behind and eats him, just like tiger, lion may come from behind and eat him. So he is already concentrating on the bird's eye. He is not looking in and around. So we should have a pinpointed view as well as the overall perspective. So both zooming and unzooming should be there with us. We should always concentrate on something and we should know everything about that. So that is why we normally say we should every researcher should have the knowledge of something about everything and everything about something. So we should know something about everything, that is overall perspective, holistic view, and everything about something. That is what is research is all about. So overall perspective, what is happening, what is there in the literature review, that also we should understand, and we will narrow it down to our research topic and then zoom it. So the zooming and unzooming part is to be mastered by every researcher. So again, I have connected that story to research now. So this is another addition to the basic idea. So that is how we will be transforming our ideas and slightly expanding its scope. We will be stretching the scope of a small idea. So these small ideas will come from the observation. Nobody has taught me this, right? So I have just observed and connected different dots. So the God has left different dots around us. We are just here to create, to connect these dots to create something, right? So that is how you should understand research, especially in social science research. This helps a lot. This is the first basic fundamental to come out with new ideas in research. Many people start with literature review and then they will land up somewhere else. But what I feel is we should have a small little idea which is taken from the day-to-day life and then go back to literature review, expand the knowledge about that, and then narrow it down to a particular research problem and then do the research. That is how we can connect our ideas with research. Then it becomes a real kind of research and you will be feeling very happy, very proud, very satisfied while doing the research. That is the motivation factor. Otherwise, doing literature review for so many hours, so many years doesn't fetch you a lot because already it is there existing, right? What addition you are making to the existing research, that is actually considered as research, right? So most of the times in many Viva OCs, people ask, what is your contribution? Even in research papers also, the reviewers ask, what is your contribution to the existing knowledge or existing research or existing discipline or existing world? Are you contributing something to solve a real world problem, or are you contributing any new concept to the research or to your discipline? That is very important. That comes from new ideas only, not from literature review, not from entire research methodology. So we should have that golden idea with us and then proceed with all the remaining research methodology steps. Unfortunately, most of the people concentrate on the research methodology and the analysis part, data collection part. All those things are secondary. First of all, what is your contribution to the existing field of research, existing knowledge? That is the most important question which we should always question before doing any research or before selecting any topic for a research paper or for PhD or anything. So PhD topic should always be with so many variables and some complex uh, connectivity should be there between the among these variables. But for a research paper per se, we can have 2-3 variables connected together logically. So I'll give you one more example. I'm basically an electrical engineer. So, and after that, I did my psychology also, and stress management is my favorite area of research. So what I did was, there is a electromagnetic induction principle of a transformer in electrical technology. So what I found was there is exactly a similar concept in stress also. So most of the times we use this term also, stress is induced. I have induced stress to you, somebody, right? So that is how stress is induced. So that induction, I have compared with our electrical induction principle of the transformer. So primary coil, secondary coil, and magnetic field is induced in the secondary coil. Without having a physical connection, we'll be inducing stress also to people. So I'll be inducing some stress to you, you will be inducing some stress to other people. That is how stress waves are induced into other people. So that is how I have made an analogy, and then I did the research also, and then presented a paper in a conference. That was my first conference paper. So you just understand a simple idea, and I have clubbed these two concepts, and then I have developed the remaining literature review and justified it, why it is required, and how to reduce the stress at the end. That is how I have proceeded, right? So further in the remaining research papers, I have refined the process of research further. But the basic ideas, every time I come with a new idea and then I decide how to fit into the research format, and then whether it is suitable to the real world problem or not, whether it is solving any real world problem or not, and what is my contribution. These two aspects are very, very important. Then you will automatically gain confidence in doing wonderful research. That is the part one. Now, you have already understood the different levels of ideas, how to generate an idea and how to extend it to the research. Now we will see what are the different levels of ideas. A small idea which can be suitable to just saying, just sharing with your friend or colleagues. Uh, Another level of idea which can be used in your demonstration in your class, or to make other people understand this concept. The third level is blogging or sharing in social media, etc. Fourth is YouTube channel, like that. Like that, you should enhance your level of ideas. So you try to understand that there are different levels of ideas. Which idea should go where? That mapping also you should do. Suppose there is a wonderful idea which can be used as a research paper idea. Unfortunately, you have used it in some YouTube platform or in a blog. Then ultimately you cannot use it somewhere else, because self plagiarization is self citation also we should not do. We cannot reuse it. We cannot use it several times again and again by giving self citations also. So the idea published is gone forever. Again you have to come out with a new idea for another research paper or anything. So on day-to-day basis, you have to generate so many ideas. That is very important, right? So suppose after reading 10-20 literature, matlab articles or thesis, you are getting an idea in the normal style of research. Then just imagine producing 20 ideas in your hand. You should have read hundreds of research papers, right? And your UGC or your NAC or whatever, all colleges are forcing you to produce research papers uh, on day-to-day basis, a large number of research papers. How will you do that? So that's why the technique is to observe the surroundings and get the ideas first, and then proceed. That gives you motivation to go ahead with n number of topics at a single point of time. So you can deal with 2-3 research papers at a stretch. You can start expanding these 5 ideas into 5 research papers. Suppose if you picked 5 topics, then you can easily proceed step by step. So that gives you motivation, and you should always segment these ideas basically. That is just like our market segmentation in management. So that is top uh, high capacity people or low capacity people, purchase capacity, and middle level customers. That is how we normally differentiate in market segmentation in management. Here also we should have a clear distinction between what is my golden idea, what is a normal idea, and what are the middle level ideas. So I have 5 ideas, means one is at the top. Let us say I should protect that idea, and remaining 3 are at the middle and one is at the bottom. So bottom level idea, I can do experiment with any research article or any research publication. Okay, but I cannot spare my golden idea for a conference paper, let us say. How to decide? which idea should go where. That is very important. Most of the researchers I have seen, they don't understand. Simply they start writing and they submit papers and fall prey to some fake journals also. Identifying a journal is our responsibility. So identifying a right journal for your right article, mapping these two is very, very crucial. Please try to understand that your knowledge should not go into drain, right? So we should protect that. For that, you need to identify a good journal for your good idea, and middle level journal for your middle level idea. That is how we should map. How to identify good journals? What are journal metrics? That is again another topic. In that we have impact factor, citation index, scope of the journal, and you have to see 2-3 articles, just see the standard of the articles, then assess whether that journal is genuine or not. Identifying the journal for your topic is also very important, and identifying the genuine journal and right journal. Your topic should come in the scope of the journal, then only they publish. Otherwise, after waiting for 1 month or 1.5 months, the editor says it is not in our scope of the journal, so we are rejecting it. That is called desk rejection. So unnecessarily, why to wait? We should see the scope of the journal. That again is research. Identifying the journal for your idea, or journal also asks some certain ideas, certain topics, themes. Can you write to that theme? That is another one. Getting the paper ready on your own thought, matching with the journal scope is one part. Second thing is, they call for papers, right? Giving certain topics. Can you write on that particular topic? That is part 2. So both things we should manage to get our papers published, right? So which type of method you are following and how you are searching the journals. That is another important thing. Normally, segmentation we should do. That is, what is my top idea and what are the journals in which this can be published, right? So that is how we will be selecting the journal and ideas also simultaneously. Suppose I have a national conference. I will come with a normal basic idea and present there. Okay, of course, the research part, obviously we have to follow all the research methodology issues, all those things. But the parameters or the variables which I choose, and the connectivity, the reliability, relatability to the existing problem, existing world, all such things should be simple. The moment if I go for a wonderful topic in a normal national conference, I have lost a chance of presenting this wonderful topic in an international conference or for an international publication, right? So that's why I should again come with a new idea. Ideas might not come instantaneously. We should have a stock of ideas. Always, whenever you are getting an idea, please write down and try to rank it. Just like you give 5-star ratings to your own ideas, right? That's a wonderful idea, right? So you give 3-star, 5-star, like that. Then 5-star rated thing should go to the 5-star journal, not to a normal journal or not to a normal conference. That is what I am talking about. It is as simple as this. Let us take the movies example. Suppose the director has 4 golden ideas with him. The best idea should go with a superstar, the best star in the industry. Then it becomes a super hit. Suppose if I introduce a new hero and I use the wonderful story with him, then the budget may be low and the reach may be low. Finally, the movie may not be a hit. Understood? So similarly, we can apply the same concept here in our research also, because it is also a creative field. That is also a creative field. Ultimately, what I am saying is how to sell our ideas. So we should understand the market. So different consumers are there, just like our journals and webinars, seminars, conferences. N number of things are there where you can throw your ideas into the world. So, but proper matching should be there. That's what I want to say. How to know which is more important in the case of journals or publications or presenting papers in conferences? There are UGC published API scores. API scores. Okay, please go through them. In that, you will understand what is the value of publishing a book chapter. Publishing a book has highest marks compared to publishing a book chapter, and publishing a book chapter has lower marks compared to publishing a research article in a conference publication, right, conference proceedings. And it has less marks compared to publishing in a national journal. This has less marks compared to publishing in an international journal. So highest marks kiska hai? Publishing a book on your own, total book. Book and book chapter are different again. Book chapter carries some marks, means you can understand the weightage of research by just observing these scores. Okay. Unfortunately, suppose if I want to become a professor, then I need this much score. How to get? People are in that race only. But you try to understand the philosophy behind that. How to identify right ideas to be presented at right place. That is giving an indication. I'm not connected to academia, but I have read that API course, and I have understood while doing my PhD itself. I have understood how to segmentize my ideas and how to map to different areas, and where I can experiment. I have done research in other different areas also. Why? Because interdisciplinarity gives rise to innovation. That again is one research topic that I have already taken and selected for publication, etc. Right. So interdisciplinarity drives innovation. That is a well-known fact. I have proved that also. So we should always talk to different area people. You don't go for functional ego. Again, this term also I have coined in my research, functional ego. The moment I feel that I am an electrical engineer, there comes an ego. While talking to the mechanical engineer or non-technical people, how my style changes. Okay, so that is another psychological factor called functional ego. So that also is prevalent in academia also. The students also observe that and they carry that to the industry. That again is one more part of my research, right? So all these are just from the observation and from the experience, and everybody feels that, but it is not there in the research. Nobody has carried out on these factors the research. That is the issue. That is why we should identify the day-to-day problems and try to solve it, connecting it to the research, and then you will understand the extent of research, and then you can expand the scope of your thought process. So we have already understood how the journal metrics are important while selecting the journals. That also is used for selecting the journals and segmentation. Again, API scores will give you certain reference for selecting different or making different strategies for presenting ideas, right? So that is general metrics and how blogging will help you. Suppose I cannot write a research paper because it is very difficult to write or very difficult to do the literature review and all, but I have certain ideas. Oh, so whether I can extend it to the research paper or not, we have to see. Suppose if you don't want to extend it, please share in the blog or YouTube or whatever. Then at least you will come out with new ideas on day-to-day basis. That is idea generation, right? So how ideas are generated? Most of the times people think how to generate new ideas on day-to-day basis. So we have to practice generating new ideas. It can be a very small idea, very silly idea, no problem. You try to share with people and then come out with new ideas. That is how you have to train your mind to come out with new ideas on day-to-day basis. You just think that you are an idea generator. Okay. So try to generate ideas on regular basis. Then it becomes a habit for you. Once you do it for 21 times, it becomes a habit, right? So idea generation should become a habit for you. Then you are becoming a creator.
हाथ से धो दो सबसे, ब्रश मत घिसना। और वो किचन के कपड़ों को लास्ट में डाल देना उसी में मशीन में ही। कोई पानी निकाल के धोना पड़ेगा।
हाँ जी। So that is how we can come out with new ideas on day-to-day basis and try to expand our scope of thoughts. So every thought can be linked to an idea and then idea can be expanded to different levels. So this is very, very important. You should try to write at least 300 words, 500 words on a particular topic. Then you will be sharing your new idea. That is point number one. Second thing is it gives you a practice of writing. At least you cannot write 3000 words at a stretch, then at least you write 300 words, which becomes a blog, right? So some ideas will go in blogs or something like that. Then remaining, we can keep it for research papers. In research papers, again, you have conferences, conference papers, and then publications. In that also national level journals and international journals. In that also again paid journals are there and free journals are there. Unfortunately, most of the people think publication means it's paid only. It is so unfortunate that people are still thinking that publication means paid. No, it is not so. Knowledge is free. Ideally, they should pay you, right? Because you are selling your idea. So they should pay you. But they are not paying. They normally, all the reputed international journals, they normally take your idea, take your research paper, and then publish them. And we have the access fee. So for downloading your article, they have to pay $75. That is how they sell your ideas. Okay, they are selling. That's why they are not taking money from you. They are taking from the readers. Actually, there are different types of journals. Normally, suppose I am handling a journal, let us say. Either I have to take money from the writer or from the reader. Okay, so you are a writer. Which journal you will see? You have to select a journal where they are taking from the readers, not from the writers. Understood? So most of the reputed journals, they won't take a single penny from you. They publish it free of cost. Okay. Unfortunately, all the paid journals are they are taking money from you and they are making it free for the readers. Okay, understood. So the content, if the content is the content quality of the content, is very high, then it can be sold. Then only I will take free of cost and sell it to other people. Otherwise, you have to pay. The writer has to pay. So ultimately, you try to understand. Suppose if you are publishing in the paid journal means what? Our research is substandard one. We don't have confidence in our research, saying that we are paying money because nobody else will buy it. That is what it means actually. Publishing in a paid journal means that. Understood? So we have to ideally search for a free journal in which we are publishing it free of cost and people are paying money to read our articles. So that should be the case ideally, and we should strive for that. For that, we need to have high standard ideas. So keep certain ideas. The number one idea should be reserved for such journals, free publication journals. And there are open source journals, means open source means it is freely available for everybody. Everybody can read. Okay. In that case also you need to pay, because how the journal management will work? They need money either from the writer or from the reader. Suppose if it is open source, means it is free of cost available for all the readers, then ultimately they have to take money from the writer. Understood? So even very big, very highly reputed journals, they have open source means, again, there might be a payment option, right? So every paid journal need not be a false or substandard journal or a fake journal. Okay, there might be very highly reputed journals which may be paid also, because they are offering it open source there for the readers. So try to understand that and choose a journal very consciously, and don't fall prey for fake journals. So that is another important. Otherwise, your golden idea will go in vain, and ultimately you have paid also, and it has become a fake journal. Already UGC has identified earlier, there were around 3,000 fake journals in their own list. Now they have modified the list and came with the UGC care list, right? Scopus database is also there. Again, Scopus, they also give accreditation or recognition for journals every year. Last year, the journal might be in the Scopus listed journal, but this year they have removed that. That also we should cross check before. But these people will be advertising that it is a Scopus journal only. We have to actually go to the Scopus database and check whether the journal is still listed when you are publishing it or not. That is what we should understand. Otherwise, the journal has been removed from the Scopus database by the time you have published. But you are thinking that I have done a Scopus publication. Understood? So everything is dynamic. We should also be dynamic, otherwise we will become diabetic. So we have to think out of box. Most of the times people say think out of box. How to do that? When we are in the functional silos, which are like boxes. Suppose I am an electrical engineer, I am a mathematics professor, I am an English professor. So all these are boxes. Okay. So we all are living in our own boxes and we don't want to come out. So, and people say, think out of box, think out of box. Even if you are in the box and thinking out of box, you cannot think. Okay. You cannot think like that. That's why I normally say we should jump out of box. I'm basically an electrical engineer. I have done several things and I have diversified myself. Okay. And I'm ready to collaborate with any electrical or electronics or even English or any political science or any area of research, right? So because I have already told you, that will be a wonderful idea to have collaborative research with the different interdisciplinary aspects. So the interdisciplinary research has to be enhanced. That comes when we leave our own functional ego. I am an electrical professor. Why should I talk to a mechanical professor? Or I am English teacher. Why should I talk to a Hindi teacher? Hindi is superior or inferior. All these things are in our mind only. It is our perception towards other people. So we should respect each and every department in our college or in our university or whatever, and we should always respect them as they are. So that is how diversity should be, right? India is a diverse country, and we know well about unity in diversity, and that's why it's a creative country, right? So we should maintain that. We should respect the differences. We should accept them and understand and collaborate with them, right? So that is how cooperation and coordination, cooperation and
Yes.
communication should take place among the departments. Then we can come out with an interdisciplinary concepts, and we can do the problems solved. Yes, I think I have to complete because
Yes,
time
sir.
is indicating. Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I'll just wrap up by saying that please leave our disciplinary ego. Functional ego is a term from industry. You can correlate with that. The disciplinary ego, please come out of that. Please jump out of box and talk to other departments to come out with wonderful ideas for research. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable guidance, inspiring all of us. It was really wonderful session. Then now the topic is open for discussion. Participant have any queries, then ask or put it in chat box.
Okay, thank you. Till now, just we'll wait for chat box and to save the time, and this time and
Yeah.
management is very important. And after my that means decide address, you can have this very informally. We'll go through the sharing and exchanging the idea. Today, Subba Rao sir just remember the APJ Abdul Kalam's line. He said that dream, 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 and dream turns into thoughts, and thoughts results into action. I think your wonderful speech, you just open up such type of window over here. Again, I remember one of the great philosophers, that R.W. Emerson. He says that noble mind always discuss or think about the ideas. Common mind people always discuss about the events or whatever happen around them, and the average mind always discuss about the people. I don't know which category, that this is the way they try to differentiate about the generating the ideas in different way. And it's really it's fact that idea is not anybody's monopoly. Any great person, any person can think of any idea. And you talked about the ideation in the research. In that you covered so many things. That means the ideation is the process where you generate the idea and solutions. Ideation is also a third stage in designing a thinking process, because you're also a student of psychology, you're a student of environment, and electrical engineer. And so you break down the walls between all the fraternities also, sir. According to NAP 2020, there are no barriers between arts, commerce, or technology and science and all that. So the idea generated during the ideation are typically raw, I think, and they are unrefined, requiring a further evaluation and refinement. And through the research, you can do that. And these ideas can then prioritized or selected or developed. They are actionable. And the initiatives that move forward for implementation, phase wise, you can say. And this process really a creative process, and this generating ideas or developing ideas, communicating the new ideas, where the idea is understood as a basic element of thought. That can be either you are saying that it may be visual or in concrete or any abstract idea. When I think about the synonym of ideate, or it is imagine, envision, envisage, visualize, dream, or anything else. And so when we get such type of idea, you already given us so many examples regarding how to modify the idea. It is how to problem solving skills, also how to identify the problem. Research, when it makes simple, the observe what is going on around us. There are end of topics you can get, and so you just focused on how to there is one sentence, really it's very nice one, just I really put this sentence on paper. You should know something about everything, and we should know everything about something. That is also a good idea, just we get from your side. Then transforming of the ideas, and many people that start to think of any idea and they try to implement that idea into action. What addition you are contributing to research work? That is a very good point you have covered. And you should one should think how one are we contributing in the research, or any this uh, how to generate the idea, what types of ideas are there. So it is very important to identify the right journal, right article, select the idea and the journal. It's very, that means really it's a great thing to listen that only we are revolving around the word idea. And that means there is boundaryless subject is there, so you try to cover up in so many very good example. And so at the end, because time is not giving me a permission to speak much more, so thank you so much for being here, and definitely we'll be connected in future with a different type of ideas. Thank you so much,
Thank
Subba
you,
Rao sir.
ma'am. Thank you for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you once again, one and all, for patient listening. And I'm open for question and answers.
I welcome Varsha ma'am to chair this session, and Ashish Rao sir for this as a resource person. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
madam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now I request Professor Sadhna Mohot to propose the vote of thanks and inform the participant about next session.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to everyone gathered here. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver vote of thanks for this session. On behalf of Matoshree Vimalabai Deshmukh, I am thankful to the chairperson of this session, Dr. Smita Deshmukh ma'am, principal of our institute, for honoring this session with her inspirational thoughts. Actually, hello, can I continue, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, please speak, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Smita Deshmukh, principal of our institute, for honoring the session with her inspirational thoughts. Actually, we are privileged to have her as our principal and to work under her dynamic leadership. We are always blessed with her exceptional guidance and visionary thoughts that stimulates us to do our best. And today also, she has explained us everything about ideation in a more simplified manner. Thank you, ma'am. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the resource person, Dr. Subba Rao, a renowned research trainer, for sparing his time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion and delivering very informative lecture on ideation in research. Sir, your thoughts have enlightened our minds. Your deep and intellectual way of imparting knowledge will help the researchers in ideation, that is, generation of ideas and nurturing it properly. Thank you very much, sir. My heartfelt thanks to all the participants attending this workshop. Thank you so much for you all being here. it's my pleasure to thank to the convener, Dr. D.R. Bambole sir, and co-convener, Dr. M.M. Nandurkar, for their untiring efforts in arranging this workshop. I am thankful to the entire organizing committee who worked hard to make this workshop possible. Thank you again, one and all, who supported directly and indirectly for this event. Thank you, everyone.
There is one question in chat box, sir. Sir, kindly give up important points, how to select the free and reputed journal, in short, please. This is a question. I think sir has given so many detailed answers. Yes.
Anyways,
sir,
yeah,
please.
please go to the Scopus database, scopus.com. From that, you can download the Scopus database in Excel format, and then you can start selecting the journal. And you can download the UGC care list of journals, and from that also you can choose. Again, please cross check whether the journal is genuine or not, because there will be a spelling mistake. Sorry, when they will be removing one single letter, magazine spelling, in that GAZING is there. They will remove A and they will create another fake journal, magazine aega, then you will be falling prey to that fake journal. So you have to match every single letter from the Scopus database or UGC CareNet. Otherwise, there will be fake journals ready to grab you. Okay. So please take care of that. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You can continue for the next one, please.
Shall we start with the next session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon again and hearty welcome to all. I, Professor Sadhana Muhud, is delighted to extend my welcome greetings to all the dignitaries, researchers and students, those who are present for this today's second session. As we all know, Matoshree Vimalabai Deshmukh Mahavidyalaya Amravati has organized this 10 days national workshop on research methodology course. At the outset, I pay my humble tribute to late founder of Shri Shivaji Education Society and great educationist Dr. Bhausaheb Deshmukh and his better half Matoshree Vimalabai Deshmukh. This is the second session of second day of this 10-day workshop. First of all, I welcome the chairperson of this session, Dr. Varsha Deshmukh, Principal, Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh College of Law, Amravati. Welcome, ma'am. Dr. Varsha Deshmukh is a renowned personality from Amravati. She has earned numerous awards and accolades during her career as principal and also for her social work. One of the important awards is the Kartavyam Prerana Puraskar conferred to her at the hands of Honorable Shri Bhagat Singh Ji Koshari, the then government of Maharashtra, at Raj Bhavan in February 2022. She has published and presented a number of research papers in international, national, and state level conferences. She is director of Image Foundation, NGO Amravati, active member of Human Rights Societies and Unconventional Energy Association, also member of various NGOs working for women and member of Indian Women Scientists Association. She held the position of ex-president of Chamber of Commerce and Industries Amravati from 2012 to 2016. She is a regular speaker of Akashvani Nagpur and Amravati. Recently, under her dynamic leadership, Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh College of Law is accredited with A grade by NAC. Congratulations, ma'am, and welcome here in this session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sadhana Muhud, madam.
Welcome once again.
Thank you, dear ma'am.
Now I welcome a resource person of this session, Dr. Aashish Rao, Shri Shivaji Arts, Commerce and Science College, Knowledge Center, Akola. He is a librarian in professor grade and also IQAC coordinator at Shri Shivaji College, Akola. He is a versatile person, a well-known librarian. He was awarded with Best Teacher Award by Shri Shivaji College, Akola on 26 January 2017. He has presented and published number of research papers in national and international journals of repute. Has one research project of UGC to his credit. Has served Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University in several coveted positions. He played a pivotal role in organizing conferences, workshops, and seminars. Notable among it is the one-day workshop on I for Inclusion Higher Education module, organized by Government of Maharashtra, RUSA, in collaboration with Resource Center. He has delivered lectures in several national and international conferences. His areas of research interest are best practices for libraries. Being a coordinator of IQAC, his college is accredited by NAC with A++ grade. Our institute has special bonding with Dr. Aashish Raut. During the preparation of SSR for our third cycle, his valuable suggestions and guidance has helped us a lot. Sir, we will never forget that. Again, I welcome you here heartily. Dr. Aashish Rao will enlighten us on the topic, how to write research paper. He will guide us the way to be followed for writing the research papers. Please, sir. Hello.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Welcome, sir. Yes, you are audible. Now you can continue.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, I pay my sincere tribute to late Dr. Punjab Rao alias Bhausaheb Deshmukh, founder, president of Shri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati, and Matoshree Vimalabai. Just first, I take this opportunity to congratulate Principal Dr. Smita Deshmukh Madam, as well as Dr. Varsha Deshmukh Madam for NAC accreditation and with highest grade, A grade. So I first congratulate you both. Your leadership is highlighted in this NAC accreditation. Again, continue with this lecture and continue this previous lecture, Dr. Subba Rao. He enlightened us how to create an ideas for research. Okay, then after the creation of ideas, we have to install it on a paper, and so how to write a research paper is my topic of discussion. So first, I just request to share my screen. First, I thank to organizer that giving me this opportunity to deliver a lecture on how to write a research paper. And I also congratulate that organizing this 10 days research methodology workshop sponsored by ICSSR. Okay. When we think about how to write a research paper, actually it is a part of an academic writing. Okay. Just a minute. Huh? Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay. So just first we have to think about the academic writing. What is academic writing and what are the writing skills? So when we think about academic writing, we are the humans and we are the masterpiece or the God's best creation. Why? Because apart from other reasons, we can write. Writing is skills make us an unique species, and writing can change the perceptions. It can change the history. It has the God power. Anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. It's a sale is a proof of utility, and utility is a success. This quote is by Edison. We start this discussion with this quote. Yes, the utility or the need-based research is the demand or the focal point of the current era. Though basic and applied research are equally important, the more focus is there on the applied research. And question is, how can you apply the basic knowledge for the development of humanity and for improving the overall quality of life of human beings? Here is the answer that academic writing is leading and steering the progress. It's not just about the recognition. Recognition is okay, but actually we are focusing the recognition of value and quality of life of human beings. We are doing the work for the sustainability of humanity in this planet. That's why the dissemination of knowledge and exchange of ideas is required, and for that, academic writing plays a very vital role. With great power comes the great responsibilities. So to use the writing for academic and research purpose, it requires great sense of responsibilities. Let's begin with the simple example. See these two sentences, life is now nowhere and life is now here. These sentences contain same alphabets, but the one sound pessimistic about life, while other sound optimistic. This proves how the proper writing can change the scenario of the thought processing. Academic writing is a formal style of writing used in university and scholarly publications. You will encounter it in journal articles and books on academic topics, and you will be expected to write your essays, research paper, and dissertation in academic style. Academic writing follows the same writing process as other type of text, but it has specific conventions in terms of content, structures, and style. These are some formal and unbiased, clear and precise, or focused and well-structured or well-sourced academic. For all type of writing, the basic traits are same. What are that traits? The clarity, completeness, logic, technicality, sequencing, unambiguity, and the reader friendliness is the key point. What is the clarity? In all these forms, you must be very clear in communicating your idea to the reader. And each communication should be complete in totality. We cannot left it open-ended like in literature. When there is literature, in literature, we can say a story which ends and then just like movies, second part coming soon. So in that matter, academic writing must be complete in totality. The logic must be there, and technical terms are always used depending on the field of research. And sequencing of presenting the information is very important for smooth transition and from one point to the next point. There is no place for ambiguity in academic writing. So where do we begin? You have spent month or year conducting your academic research. Now it's time to write your journal article. For some, this can be become a daunting task because writing is not their forte. It might become difficult to even start writing. However, once you organize your thoughts and begin writing them down, the overall task will become easier. The more I think, the more confused I get. So, first of all, we have to understand what academic writing actually is. Academic writing is just a community exercise. It's an academic writing is to what people do together. It is a community exercise. And it is a reader friendliness. The readership is always the prime focus of academic writing with the purpose of explaining or pursuing the knowledge. Once start writing in this process, the judgment of right and wrong, appropriate or inappropriate is purely defined by the readers. Other students, lecturers or examiners are the judges in the case of academic writing. Let's move to the basic requirement and steps of academic writing one by one. What are the basic requirements? When we start writing the research paper, we have to first start critical reading and language. In which language we have to write the article? Is mother tongue, English, and any other language. Good knowledge of grammar, rational, logical, and sequential flow and reader friendliness is there. The purpose of writing should be argumentary. and academic credibility of content is very important. Connecting the ideas, cohesive writing style is a prime requirement in academic writing. For students in this digital era, students hardly go for writing lectures, notes, or some other basic writing. So when it comes to deliver a piece of academic writing, it becomes a Hurricane's task for them. Then students start putting in the effort. So don't just wait for the last moment for delivering. Practice by preparing concise, logical, to the point, and quality notes, whatever you have been taught in the class, and always get it checked or reviewed by your mentor. For student, academic writing is important for getting these vital benefits. And you have to open up your minds. When you write, your brain works more effectively and new areas of brain starts working. And just discussed by Dr. Subba Rao, the ideas coming to your mind. You can refer an article from the New York Times dated June 20, 2014, available on net. Secondly, better understanding of the topic for effective communication. If you know academic writing, you can effectively express or communicate your level of understanding. Then triggering the analytical thinking, academic writing trigger the analytical thinking, and being analytical is important for academic and research. You are required to analytically study 2 or more related studies for getting this essence out of the work as your future plan of work. So critical, triggering, and objective thinking. First, we see the analytical thinking, and now we triggering critical and objective thinking. Learning is not complete until it is thought critically and objectively. Without critical thinking, information cannot be framed to build knowledge. And so the process is we collect the data, that is information, then it convert to the knowledge, and knowledge, then wisdom. Then learning, focus, and framed writing. As you have to be more formal and bound to some framework or style in academic writing, it enables you to deliver the best in required style, template, framework, and fulfilling the mandatory requirements in the form of PhD dissertation, PhD thesis, and required papers for PhD work. Academic writing plays a vital for students. Have rationals. What is we have to do? Patent or publish? We have to first decide what we have to do with our research. We have to publish in a research paper or we have to patent it. So you should first see whether your work is innovative or not. If innovation has the merit of for patentability, then don't plan the publication. If the innovation has the merit of patentability, then don't plan for publication before trying for patent. If the innovation is not worthy to be patented, then go for publication. Then novelty of the work. The novelty of work is driving force for publication. If you are first in reporting a work, then it's a win-win condition for publication. Then contribution to the state of knowledge, either in the form of research or in the form of review, there must be something in your work which can contribute to the state of knowledge in that domain. So you have to decide what type of research you are completed, that if you want to patent that research work, then don't publish it. And if you find nothing to be patented in your research, then try to publish it. But for publishing, you have to find the novelty of your work and then contribute. The flow of action of academic writing. The process of academic writing consists the following steps. Each individual step has its own significance and it's necessary to be followed cautiously. What are that steps? First is critical reading that creates knowledge collection. Then after critical reading, you have to create critical thinking that creates an idea or generate an idea. Then after critical thinking, you have to just write a first draft. That is a rough draft, means framework development, that that what are the ideas are in your mind after critical thinking, you have to put it down on a paper. Then after first draft, you have to start multiple draft, that evaluation of first idea, then second time, third time, and after at the last you have to proofreading, means finalizing the idea. So plan well on time. Start writing early. Plan the article well before the completion of your research. Means after starting research, first work we have to complete is literature review. So one article must be written on review of literature. Then after generating ideas and starting work, you have to plan that while completing your research, you have to publish 2 to 3 articles so that your thesis or your research topic will be well discussed in community. Then for review writing, the plan review write articles immediately after exhaustive literature review. See, if you have enough literature survey, your prior expertise or experience in this research area. Then plan the outline on time. Plan outline of paper with co-authors, that is principal investigator or supervisor, that is guide, well ahead of the draft writing. Then your outline should be written before you start your paper. Means outline means what are your work, objectives, aims, scope, etc. It organizes your thoughts and create a plan so you know how your paper will look. Then assess your work wisely. Neither overestimate nor underestimate your quality of work. See the journal to be targeted and the level of articles in that, and then as per the quality of your work plan and the submission. Target quality journals or journals with good impact or indexing. Target the best possible journal for your article, best in sense of impact factor, not or indexing. Just Dr. Subba Rao says that Scopus or Web of Science indexing journals, you will find it on that Scopus or Web of Science websites or UGC care listed journals. But see that journals are genuine, and then select your subject journals so that the reviewers can comment it on your research topic. Then after that, very important is drafting a manuscript. For drafting a manuscript, a tight or well-defined outline of the article that helps a lot in drafting. Stick to author guidelines of the journal while drafting the manuscript. You will find that every journals have its own guidelines for drafting an article. So if you select a journal for writing and research paper, then you have to first go for the guidelines of the journal while about the drafting of manuscript. Then use either British or American English. You have to select the language, which language you have to write, British or American. Don't use both languages, both styles. So use only British or American English. Avoid any typo or grammatical errors. Use simple and reader-friendly language with good clarity. Maintain a systematic flow in writing, presenting information. Means you have to write it in the form of introduction, then objectives, then aims and scope, and what are the research methodologies, what are the statistical techniques used, and after that result discussion and conclusion. Okay, then don't forget to give due attribution. Means if we will quote any author or we will take some information from other articles, you have to give uh, quotes or attribution. Then avoid plagiarism. Do not copy. We will discuss it in after the academic writing discussion. Then plan a precise aim, split it into objectives, and tell what methods were adopted for getting results. Means statistical techniques or research methodologies you use for your research, and then discuss them properly. Focus on every component of an article. Firstly, what is the important title? I suggest plan it at last. After writing a full article, then you will decide what should we give the title. Keep in mind that it should be simple and catchy, reader friendly, suitable for the journals to be targeted and representative of your work. Means in that title, your work should be highlighted and that should be catchy so that everyone, the readers may attract to that article and read full articles. Secondly, authorship. Only persons who have given actual contribution in planning, designing, execution, completion, and drafting of the study should be given authorship. It should not be used as a gift or any favor. Why we write that we should not give used as a gift or any favor? Because we will find that one article authored by many authors, we will give that he needs for cash or API, so we put it her or his name in that article. So it has not been done. We have to give the actual contributions, means a researcher or his supervisor, and also if we take the help from the institute for analysis or any laboratory work, then we have to give them authorship. Then third part is affiliation. Apart from your institutional address, give email which you use more frequently rather than the one which you do not use normally. Try to use only one email ID of yours so that in your affiliation, so that your Google Scholar or any other indexing site will collect that your work and measure the citation and H-index. So it is very important to give your only email ID that use for every research papers. And appellation must be correct, because in the NAC process also we find that the research papers are collected through indexing agencies, and they just find out what are the research papers written by the particular institution. So they just mention Matoshree, Vimalabai, Mahavidyalaya, Amravati, or Shri Shivaji College of Art, Commerce and Science, Akola. But what we find that number of authors write their affiliation as Shri Shivaji College, Akola, or Matoshree, Vimalabai, Akola, Amravati. So we have to write the full name of our affiliation correctly, and in every article it must be same. Then abstract. In drafting stage, you should plan the abstract after the completion of the paper. Make it structured and unstructured as per requirement of the journal. Give to the point, aim, objective, methods, result, and conclusion, and make it concisely. Generally, it is must be in 300 words. Then third is keywords. Select the keywords which are not in the title. Right selection of keywords make it easy to get your work searched easily on internet or search engines. Add keywords which are related to your study and which are more likely to be used by the people to search for the similar study. We are already searching Googles with number of keywords. Okay, so the title in select the keywords that are not available in title but available in your research paper and are linked with your research paper. So select such keywords and put it in the keyword section so that any person search by keywords will find your research paper. Then forging good titles in academic writing. The title is the first thing your reader will see, and most readers will make their first judgment of your work based on it. For this reason, it is important to think about your titles carefully. In academic writing, the most basic thing to remember are that your title should be informative, striking, and appropriate. This article briefly discusses these titacular qualities, turns to some title templates and examples that then offer some tips and common titles. When you are writing a dissertation, thesis, or research paper, many words and phrases that are acceptable in conversations or informal writings are considered inappropriate in academic writing. You should try to avoid expressions that are too informal or unsophisticated, vague, exaggerated, or subjective, as well as those that are generally unnecessary or incorrect. Bear in mind that, however, that these guidelines do not apply to the text. Then, how to write more consciously, tips for shorten your sentences. Concise writing present ideas clearly and does not use more words than are truly necessary. Conciseness is an important characteristic of academic writing, especially given how complex the subject matter frequently is. Two of the biggest enemies of concise writing are inflated phrases and redundancies. It's easy to think that using more complicated sounding phrases will give your text a more academic feel. But mostly, it just makes it harder to follow. Using the below strategies will make your writing not only tighter, but also more effective. Avoid repetitions. Repetitions and redundancies can cause problems at the level of either the entire paper or individual sentences. However, repetition is not always a problem, as when used properly, it can help your reader follow along. Then, this is what the section of papers are and the content. First is the abstract. What is abstract? It contains the central idea. Then we used introduction. I am already introduction. In introduction, you have to mention defining the problems, objectives, and rationality of work. Then material and methods. The way to solve the problem. What materials are used for the research work, which type of methods you use for the research work or research for your science and humanities, it's different. Then result. Result means finding of the experiments or your research, social analysis of your research. Then discussion, analytical study of obtained results. You have to discuss it. Then conclusion, concluding remarks on outcome, acknowledgement, references and infographics. That means table and figures. Then what we should include in introduction? Try to answer what is the problem and what is your hypothesis. Give background or origin of idea, logically, sequentially, systematically. Introduce your problem and give your hypothesis. Then focus on justifying the rationality of your work. Give proper citations to latest and important previous studies. Don't use very old references until they are indispensable or they must be to discuss. Your introduction tells the audience what you will explain in your paper. It will let the audience know what to expect from reading your paper. So introduction must have these all ideas. It must be logical, sequential, and justify the rationality of your work. Then material and methods. Try to answer how the problem was studied and following your hypothesis. Discuss the methodology logically and in concise way. Don't miss discussing about any modification made by you in standard method. So if the science paper is there, then you have to discuss on the materials and methods which you apply for your research work, or if the humanities and social sciences research papers, you have to discuss which type of research methodology you apply, what type of techniques you use for the research, and what is your hypothesis. That will be discussed in material and methods. Then result. Try to answer what was the outcome of the problem treatment from your hypothesis. This section provides the evidence that leads to the answers of the study to the question you posed at the start. Then means first we discuss the what are the questions of your research paper, and we have to provide the evidence that leads to our questions. Then the reader should be guided to these findings by using text of the result along with judicious use of table and illustrations and graphs. State the result without any bias. Then don't exaggerate the results. Also, don't be afraid of reporting negative result also. Report any paradox, then use good statistics to show the results. Try to implement some statistical test also. Don't repeat the text in figures or table or vice versa. Cite the table or figure in text, then make the tables and figures self-explanatory with suitable legends or footnotes. Equations and special characters. Give attention to presentation of equation. It's better to write the equation in Microsoft Equation. Then discussion. Try to answer how was the outcome of problem, treatment correct, correlated, and contradicted with the previous studies. Discussion may be separate section or join as a result, and discussion section as per the journal's requirement. Take the result one by one and discuss them. Discuss the result in light of existing knowledge. Be critical. Don't be biased, and discuss the result with clarity and reader friendliness. Use the references freely to support the discussion. Then conclusion. Conclude your study outcome in concise manner. Conclusion should not just be copied from abstract. Give future direction also. And acknowledgement. Try to answer who help you and support you, but not eligible to be author on merit. Those who you support, but not an author, then you have to acknowledge them in acknowledgement. Suppose in acknowledgement only to project grants, means we have to acknowledge ICSSR for this organizing research methodology workshop. If we publish any document on this research methodology workshop, then we have to acknowledge ICSSR. Then give samples. Some science researcher have to complete their work with some testing, that NMR test, IR test, and some digital testing. Then we have to acknowledge them also. Then analytical or other services provided by the agencies, logistics support, etc. Do not use this section for gracing. Do not acknowledge senior author and director and stakeholder like department, principal, head, etc. in the research paper. Then references. Stick to uniform formatting and style as prescribed by the journal. Every journal have their individual referencing style. So they use IEEE or APA style and other styles. So first, just go for your journal and see that which reference style they ask for writing the bibliographies or references, and stick to that reference styling. Don't unnecessarily increase the references. Means don't use that 50 and 100 references needed for the research paper. No, you have to only mention the references that are we just review for this article. Spell author's name properly. He, she may be one of the reviewers. None wants his name printed wrong. Means you have to name the authors that are in bibliography or some quotation properly, because we doesn't know who the reviewers are. It must be that author that we quote in our article. So name them properly. Don't miss the pioneer, most important and most relevant studies for your work. Then do not forget to cite latest references. Limit the references as per the need of your article. Then review articles are expected to give as much as references. Then these are some checklists for academic writing. As I have also completed one Swayam course on academic writing by IIT. So these are some checklists that academic writing needs. That what are the checklists? I avoid informal terms in contractions. I avoid second person pronouns, that is you. I avoid emotive or exaggerated language. I avoid redundant words and phrases. I avoid unnecessary jargon and define terms where needed. I present information as preciously and accurately as possible. I use appropriate transition to show the connection between my ideas. My text is logical, organized, using paragraphs. Each paragraph is focused on a single idea expressed in a clear topic sentence. Every part of the text relates to my central thesis or research question. I support my claims with evidence. I use the appropriate verb tenses in each section. I consistently use either UK or US English, British or American English. I format numbers consistently. Then I cite my sources using consistent citation style. These are the checklist. One should be check while writing a research paper whether these points will cover in our research paper. Then after the writing the research paper, you should also have a note-taking handouts. As we go through the assignment, take notes or write down any question you have, then a sample outline or the example of plagiarism or paraphrasing. I have just stolen other author's work. That is plagiarizer. Then we have to must be discussed about plagiarism while writing a research paper. What is plagiarism? It is the act of presenting another's work or ideas as your own work. These are some example of paragraph plagiarism versus paragraph paraphrasing samples. What is the direct quote from research? Suppose the direct quote from research, I will take that Japan's beautiful Mount Fuji last erupted in 1707 and is not classified as dormant. Dormant volcanoes show no sign of activity, but they may erupt in the future. I have put it in a inverted commas, means that quotation marks. So this is the direct quote. I will take it from the source. Then non-plagiarized paraphrase. This quote just I have written in a paraphrase that Mount Fuji, the highest mountain in Japan, is actually a dormant volcano. Dormant means that is not active. The last time Mount Fuji erupted was in 1707 and there is always the possibility of a future eruption. This is the example of paraphrase. Means first I have mentioned the direct quote from research. We have to mention it in quotation mark. If we have to paraphrase that quote, then we have to mention it in paraphrase. How do I quote an author? Actually, while quoting an author, if you quote an author, insert quotation mark around the text you are using, and at the end of the quotation, parenthetical notations are needed. Simple writing the quote and then put the author's name and page number. Just like Williamson, 148, that is a page number. You will cite the entire source when you get to the bibliography page of your paper. Means in the running matter, if you paraphrase or quote any author, you have to mention detailed reference in the bibliography section. Bibliography or work cited pages. At the end of your paper, you will include a bibliography or work cited page. This gives the author of your source credit for their work. In your packet, you will find sample bibliography entries for various sources. These are some research bibliography writing tools, research guide and noodle tools, etc. available on website. Okay, then you have to mention the work cited in the style of APA or IEEE, any other that journal mentions. And lastly, what we have to done is proofread. What proofread? Are all words spelled correctly? Use a proper or online dictionary is unsure. Paper or online dictionary. Then did I capitalize the beginning of each sentence and all proper nouns? Means we have to check this also. Then did I punctuate correctly? Then do I use grammar correctly? Then did I answer all the topic questions and fulfill all the requirement on my rubric? Did I include an introduction and conclusion? Did I type the proper paper using the correct font size, font type, line spacing, and margin requirement? Did I paraphrase all contents? Did I use parenthetical notations for quotes? Do my sentences make sense when read aloud? Have I had my paper peer edited? Does my paper flow well? And did I include a bibliography page? So everyone after writing a research paper must check all these proofreads so that your paper will be proper and reviewed properly and published in a well-known research papers. Keep track of your sources, then details should be write down, then quote or paraphrase that way you have to discuss. Then when to use quote to give a textual evidence, to analyze the languages, or to give precise definition, you have to quote. And when to paraphrase, to share some information, to say, explain an ideas, to show your understanding of the sources. These should be the examples of quotes and paraphrase. Then cite the original sources. And now finish. After this overall discussion, we will complete our paper, and now the paper is ready for publication. So in this way, if you follow all the rules, all the direction, check proofreads, then referencing styling, plagiarism, and you use plagiarism checkers for the duplicate to check the duplication of work. Number of free plagiarism tools are available. Use university to detect the plagiarism. Then compare your document to a database sources. Using a plagiarism checker yourself, check if you can download a plagiarism report when you submit your assignment. If not, then plagiarism checker services are available online that will be used for this way. Okay, in this way, we will complete our lecture and on how to write a research paper. I have just discussed in this lecture that what precaution we have to take while writing a research paper, how to create ideas, and how to put it on a paper so that our research must be socialized, and the reviewers or the public can read our research, and we can reach to the society. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It
Thank
was
you.
it was indeed a wonderful session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your informative lecture. You have mentioned about every detail of writing a research paper. As we all know that there is no any easy way or shortcut to write a research paper. However, there are some guidelines that can make the process easier, enjoyable, and will definitely make our research work a quality work. All the participant researchers are definitely benefited by your valuable thoughts, sir. Thank you very much. Now, I invite Dr. Varsha Deshmukh ma'am to please deliver the presidential address.
Thank you, Sadhna madam. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Due to some internet connectivity, I'll just switch off my video because it might get dropped during the. Okay. At the outset, I congratulate Madam Principal Dr. Smita Deshmukh for organizing such a wonderful 10-day national workshop on research methodology sponsored by ICSSR Western Region Center, Mumbai. At the same time, I would like to congratulate you for receiving such a wonderful grade. And I appreciate Madam's endeavor. She's such a versatile person. She's not only a great academician, but she's a great artist. She's known, I think, entire nation as a Jiza Mata. And her multifarious activity really impresses everybody.
Yes.
And even it impressed me too. And she's a wonderful human being above all. And I congratulate all the team of Matoshree Vimalabai Mahavidyalaya. And secondly, I also congratulate Dr. Aashish Raut, sir, who is from the Shri Shivaji Arts, Commerce and Science College, Akola. He's the he's the head of Knowledge Research Center, Akola. And no wonder, after listening your discourse, one can think the college is getting such a high grade in the NAC. Okay, after I specifically attended both the sessions, after getting the idea that how to get the idea, and now we got to know that how to write a research paper. But why we have to write the research paper? Writing research paper helps students and we academicians to develop critical thinking, analytical, and we also develop our research skills. It fosters a deep understanding of the subject. It promotes effective communication and contributes to the advancement of knowledge in their respective fields. It also serves as way to evaluate students, their ability to summarize, to synthesize the information and engage independent inquiry, which is essential skill for the successful academician and of course, we professionals. So after listening to Dr. Raut, sir, the academic writing is a skill. It is not only a task, but it is skill.
Yeah.
And very first slide, he has written that anything that won't sell, I won't, I don't want to invest. Its sale is proof of utility. If the writing is without utility, it has no use. Then why academic writing? So again, as you said, that life is not where, but life is now here. So latest knowledge of subject is very much required while writing the research paper. Then you have specifically and very clearly informed all the audience that how it should be. It should be a formal, unbiased, clear, precise, focused, well sourced, and there shouldn't be any ambiguity, and it should be reader friendly. What are the basic requirements or the steps in the research? It should be analytical, then comparative, historical, whatever. Because in social sciences, we have lot of types of research. Types of research. The researcher can choose as per the demand of the subject. Then rationale of study is another important aspect of writing research paper. If the subject is not convincing, the researcher should able to convince that what is the importance of this topic, and then he has to plan according to after reading the reviews. Many times, even in our law stream, there are a lot of, you are not the first person to have a research in the field. There before many researchers have contributed to the subject, and that is why you have to really have to go through various reviews and then you are adding something to it. So that point is really very crucial and important. Then plan review writing, then outline, then target best possible, the select best Scopus journals, UGC care listed. I think there we have problem because in care listed journal, we have to wait for 2-3 years. And the Scopus journals, their contribution is quite subscription fees are quite high, 15,000, 20,000. And I think there we are lagging. Even we have lost most of the points in the research, although we try to cope up. Then, of course, the manuscript, how to write the manuscript, what is the demand of various journals. Then, of course, the various steps you have very meticulously mentioned here. Title of the subject, what the title should be simple, clear, and reader friendly. And I heard from one of the experts that it should be spell, it should be called out in a one breath. Otherwise, many people tend to have a 10 lines title, 15 lines title, and at the end you get confused that what the writer has to say here. So that is another important aspect you focused on. Then authorship, affiliation, abstract, the keywords plays very vital role. Many times students don't know that why the keywords. If we go on logging, and particularly if I want to search for the if I say that NAC peer team, and then if I write that all the articles which has this word, they come before you. So writing keywords are also very important. You spoke about IMRD, then of course the material introduction, the results, discussion, plagiarism, which is another very significant aspect in writing. It is the academic step. So you have to acknowledge that from where we have to give the attribute to the main author, original author, and of course the checklist is very important. You have given us. There are many good checklists you have contributed to the researchers. Then handouts, note-taking handouts. One another significant aspect to spoke about. Then, yes, bibliography references are the heart of the research. So from bibliography, from the references, one really get to know that how latest study you are studying and how latest, which valuable books you have read. All this information was very, very informative and very useful for the research scholars, for PhD students, academicians, and the students as well. So I thank from bottom of my heart for giving me an opportunity to chair this session. Thank you so much, convener, the co-convener, all the participant delegates here, and everybody's effort is shown. This is a teamwork, and I congratulate each and everybody here. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a wonderful outcourse and opportunities made available to everyone here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Varsha ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aashish sir.
Ashish sir, I just have one question for you.
Yeah.
Like we speak about how to avoid plagiarism by paraphrasing, you can avoid the plagiarism. But now the AI tool, I think, yes, artificial intelligence has crossed all the barriers, and then I think it has become very easy to write a paper without any plagiarism. What is your opinion on it?
No, you are very much true. This, but that's why we have to use paraphrasing. Means we can
sir,
use.
My question is the artificial intelligence AI has contributed so much. I mean, for writing paper, it's very easy nowadays without catching into the clutches of plagiarism.
Yes.
So
yes,
what
yes.
will be the
No, it's true. But what plagiarism will check? AI also collect the information from anywhere and just give us sentences. Means what we need, AI will correct it in a sentence manner. Or they can collect also from any type of internet or sources and will give us an idea. Means if we ask AI to how to write a research paper, just they give a checklist and number of type. But we cannot use that in as our research paper. Okay, means I have asked him that how to present the best practices in NAC, and I have to write a research paper on best practices. They give us a number of ideas how to write best practices or how to implement best practices, but they collect that information from AI tools, means from internet, from NAC website, and all that sentences you have to use in your own languages or in your, because internet have all type of information, but human have some other what we say that ideas or mind or internet
the
कुछ भी कर
task is
सकता है
very
लेकिन हाँ
yes task
yes
is very easy for the PhD scholars nowadays
yes
because
yes
of
yes
AI.
yes yes that is easy for PhD scholar, but still we have to do something new, or anything that AI have to not means आपल्या डोक्यावर नाही बसला पाहिजे AI, याचा प्रयत्न आपल्याला करावा लागेल. कारण नाही तर काय होईल, किंवा आपली गरजच राहणार नाही. त्यासाठी म्हणून आपल्याला आपला प्रयत्न करणं गरजेचं आहे.
Agree,
The ask
agree.
is easy for the AI, but next thing that be original. The
Yes.
motto of our research methodology workshop. Be original one. That means try
कारण
to
काय,
be original one.
AI आपल्याला खूप काही देईल, पण आयडियाज तर आपल्या असल्या पाहिजे, इनोव्हेटिव्ह असल्या पाहिजे. त्या आयडियाज जे आहे त्याचीच किंमत आहे. आणि त्याच्यामुळे आयडियाज आपल्या असेल आणि AI त्याला फक्त आपल्याला काय म्हणतात, फ्रेम करून द्यायचा प्रयत्न करू शकेल, तो त्रास आपला वाचू शकेल. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच मॅडम.
Thank you so much.
तुम्ही दोघांच्याही खूप खूप आभार आणि धन्यवाद आणि खूप खूप अभिनंदन. कारण शिवाजी शिक्षण संस्थेमध्ये आपले आता A ग्रेडचे खूप सारे कॉलेजेस झाले आणि त्यामागे तुमची खूप मेहनत आहे अर्थातच. आणि पुन्हा विमलाबाई महाविद्यालयाच्या प्राचार्यांचं तर खूप अभिनंदन आहेतच, त्यांना मी पहिलेपासून म्हणायचो. पण बाकीचे जे स्टेक होल्डर आहे, स्टाफ आहे, मोहोड मॅडम, कुबडे मॅडम, नांदुरकर मॅडम इथे जॉईन दिसत आहेत म्हणून त्यांचे नावं घेतोय. अदरवाईज
स्मिता
म्हणजे
ठाकरे
सगळ्यांचे,
मॅडम, कुबडे मॅडम.
कुबडे मॅडम, सगळे जे काही दिसत आहेत त्या सगळ्यांचंही खूप खूप अभिनंदन. त्यांनी खूप हार्डवर्क केलेलं आहे आणि ती हार्डवर्क सक्सेसमध्ये कन्वर्ट झालंय A ग्रेड मिळून. पुन्हा
आणि मुख्य
सगळ्यांची,
म्हणजे लागेचच आपल्या कामाला लागले सगळे.
मेन ते आहे. कारण कंटिन्युटी पाहिजे आहे. पुढचा नॅकचा A++ घ्यायचा असेल तर ही कंटिन्युटी राहील, ती नक्कीच A++ घ्याल अशी आशा नक्कीच करतो. धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Dr. Aashish, sir. I also thank Dr. Varsha Deshmukh, ma'am, for her presidential speech. In your speech, you have very nicely covered up all the aspects related to writing the research paper. Dr. Deshmukh ma'am started from the point of why we have to write the research paper and answered the questions in a very skillful manner, mentioning everything that will add to the quality of a research work. Again, lots of thanks, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, I call upon Dr. Kubde ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. On the behalf of my institute and organizing committee, I immensely thankful to our chairperson, Principal Dr. Varsha Deshmukh, for sparing time in spite of your busy schedule. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. My gratitude to today's speaker, Dr. Aashish Raut sir, for gracing the occasion and sharing their opinion today. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path. I also expressing thanks to IQAC coordinator, Dr. Thakre, workshop coordinator, Dr. Bamore, co-coordinator, Dr. Nandurkar. Then now our sincere gratitude goes to all faculty members, teachers, participants, and students. Thank you so much for attending this workshop. A special mention to our respected principal, Dr. Smita Deshmukh, for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and standing as a pillars of strength. Then I am immensely thankful to Mrs. Sadhna Mohod madam for her efforts towards anchoring of this session. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Then now
Thank
hand
you.
over to Sadhna
Sir,
Mohod.
please share your PPT with Mel, and it will be useful in future also, sir.
Yes, already shared with on your WhatsApp, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. Be connected again for the next 5 years plan, sir. Thank you.